Hey everyone, Lee Burkhardt here and welcome to our online video channel. Now I know many of you have been anxiously waiting to see this. I know I've certainly been excited to review it. So in today's episode we're going to be taking a closer look at the Nauticam NA-C70 underwater housing for the Canon C70 camera. On today's video we're going to break this down into two main categories for you, the housing features and the camera features. We'll discuss all of the important features that really stand out, additional gear you should consider adding, and more importantly, what kind of benefits this new equipment offers for underwater filmmaking. So let's kick this off by first taking a closer look at the Nauticam NA-C70 underwater housing. Like nearly all of the Nauticam housings, the ergonomic design and control placement is excellent. Thanks to the ingenious engineering from the engineers over at Nauticam, there are 17 electronically controlled buttons along the sides of the housing, placing all of your essential controls for focus, exposure, and shooting right at your fingertips. From the right handle, controls for things like record triggering, menu, ISO, white balance, custom functions, and the multi-controller are all accessible. From the left handle, controls for things like playback, focus and zoom, iris, shutter angle, ND filters, and many more are all accessible. The camera assembly and installation on this really couldn't be any easier. In fact, you can build the entire system in just a few minutes. Simply unlock the rear housing latches and remove the rear of the housing. Unlock and remove the camera tray. Attach the tray to the C70 camera and plug in the remote control output. Place the assembled camera and tray back into the housing and then lock the rear housing latches back into place. Attaching ports is also made easy, thanks to Nauticam's patented port locking lever. Simply move the port locking lever into the release position, align the dot on the port to the dot on the housing, push the port into place, and then move the port locking lever back into the lock position. There's also an RF to EF lens release button integrated into the housing to swap lenses directly from the front, without having to remove the camera at all, making lens changes in the field quick and painless. As for lenses, the housing is built around Nauticam's N120 port mount, so you have the entire line of Canon EF and RF lenses to choose from, with solid choices on everything from wide angle to macro. Full zoom and focus support for all of these lenses are provided by Nauticam Cinema Gearing, with dedicated focus and zoom knobs located along the left side of the housing for precise adjustments to both zoom and focus while underwater. The housing is also compatible with a wide range of Nauticam's water contact optics. The SMC1 and SMC2 make excellent choices for all of you super macro imaging fans, and are among our top recommendations thanks to the superb image quality, color, and contrast that these provide underwater. Nauticam's WACP and WACP2 are also great additions, as they provide incredible image quality and sharpness, and when paired with the right lens, can provide a very versatile option underwater for capturing wide, medium, and close-up shots all during the same dive. We have a series of articles and videos that discuss all of these features in much more detail, so be sure to check those out in the links below. Nauticam's moisture alarm electronics are included, by the way, along with their vacuum electronic system. Now you have to purchase the vacuum valve separately to utilize this, but we highly recommend it as it provides some peace of mind that you've assembled the entire kit properly and it's safe to dive before you enter the water. The housing features 5mm and 10mm threaded mounting points for attaching ball mounts for a variety of additional accessories. A 1/4-20 cheese plate is also located along the top of the housing and can be used for things like the new Nauticam top handle or even a top handle that you already own. There's also a tripod ball mount set available that's perfect for attaching ball mount arms to be used as tripod legs. Nauticam includes an M24 bulkhead opening for routing an HDMI connection to external monitors, such as the Atomos Ninja 5. Now these monitors make a great addition for any underwater video shooters, as they provide a larger, brighter, 5-inch screen for viewing, and are absolutely loaded with all kinds of assist tools, such as focus peaking, false color, waveforms, and many more that make your job underwater so much easier. As you can see, the housing is incredibly versatile. It can easily be configured into a lightweight, compact form factor, perfect for operation on something like a pole cam or for freediving applications where you want less drag in the water. Or for a more built-out rig, complete with things like an external monitor, tripods, and video lighting. As for the Canon C70 camera, we think this is a really solid choice for any underwater filmmaker to consider. For starters, the camera is built around a Super 35mm dual gain sensor that offers excellent low-light performance with 4K recording at up to 120 frames per second, captured in 10-bit 422 color, all of which is recorded internally to SD cards, with unlimited record times, I might add. In addition, we have pro cinema features like dual card slots, variable ND filters, Canon Log 2 and 3 for providing an incredible 16+ stops of dynamic range, and of course Canon's famous Dual Pixel autofocus and manual white balance, which are perhaps some of the best in the industry. Now stack all of these features up, and then consider its size compared to other cinema cameras currently in the market. And not only do you have a really lightweight and compact underwater video system, but one with an incredible value considering the $5,500 price tag of the camera. Now all of this looks really great on paper, of course, but how does it actually measure up in terms of underwater filmmaking? In truth, really well actually. The ability to record in 10-bit 422 with Canon Log is perhaps one of the more interesting features, and while not as significant as Canon RAW recording, still allows for a good amount of flexibility for changes to both color and exposure in post-production. Here you can see some examples of ungraded footage, and then the same footage once it's been color graded in post. Even over or underexposed footage, or footage captured in less than ideal water conditions can easily be fixed in post-production. With the variable frame rate recording options at 4K, you have lots of creative flexibility for capturing slow motion playback of cool behavior shots, and an excellent tool to help with stabilization and camera shake. Steady, smooth handheld footage is easily achievable. Another wonderful feature of the camera is its custom function buttons. Nearly all of the buttons in the camera can be custom key mapped to a wide variety of camera controls for things like autofocus, white balance, ISO, and many more. This is a great feature in the sense that you can reroute specific controls exactly to where you want them on the housing and camera. Now, a camera's ability to accurately capture a manual white balance while underwater at depth is a crucial feature for many underwater filmmakers in order to capture accurate color. Historically, Canon has established itself among underwater filmmakers for its excellent color reproduction underwater, and the C70 certainly lives up to that reputation. Colors look simply amazing straight out of the camera. It can capture a manual white balance with ease, and without the need for any kind of color correction filters. In addition, this manual white balance can be accomplished with the push of a single button, making your job underwater really easy. Ensure the camera's white balance is set to custom, fill part of the frame with your white or gray reference card, press the white balance set button on the back of the housing, and boom, you're done. The C70 also features an integrated mechanical 10-stop ND filter, and this is a real game changer for underwater shooters, as it allows you to apply a variety of ND filters all while underwater and without having to open the housing. This is great for filming in a variety of scenarios, particularly in bright, shallow, and/or sunny underwater conditions, or in scenarios where you want to open up the aperture to achieve a shallow depth of field behind subjects for a more cinematic look. Canon's Dual Pixel autofocus utilizes phase detection technology to provide smooth, accurate, high-performance continuous autofocus for a variety of filming scenarios. Frankly, it's just spectacular, and is hands down one of the most reliable continuous autofocus systems that we've used compared to many other cinema brands currently in the market. Here you can see a simple example shot in my home studio. Even as I move along the frame and closer or further from the lens, it maintains focus with almost virtually no focus hunting. It also works really well underwater too, even with non-human subjects, as you can see from the footage examples here. In addition, you can also fine-tune many of these autofocus settings directly through the menu, giving you much greater control over things like how quickly or how slowly the camera achieves autofocus. Now, if you haven't seen this already, we recently put together an entire video demonstrating Canon's Dual Pixel autofocus technology, so be sure to check that out in the video links below. In addition to the Nauticam housing supporting standard EF to EOS R adapters, there's also support for Canon's new EF to EOS R 0.71x mount adapter through an optional camera tray, which is highly recommended. This Canon mount adapter is essentially a speed booster designed specifically for the C70's Super 35mm sensor that allows you to attach a full-frame EF mount lens while increasing the effective angle of view by 0.71x. This basically reduces the effect of a full-frame to Super 35 crop factor, as well as increases the maximum aperture performance by an entire one stop. Plus, it offers full autofocus support. So, do you own a Canon 16 to 35mm, or maybe an 11 to 24mm that you want to use underwater with your C70 camera? Well, now you can, with a nearly identical field of view underwater, and you'll get an entire extra stop of light while you're at it. The camera features dual card slots that accept UHS 2 SD cards. You have options for dual recording to both cards simultaneously, so that you always have a backup of your footage in the event one media card fails, or the option to begin recording to the second after the first is full for additional media storage. For powering the camera, the C70 accepts Canon BPA30 and BPA60 batteries, and the Nauticam NA-C70 housing does support the larger capacity BPA60 batteries for extended runtimes. To give you guys some real-world examples, I was able to get over 3 long 1-hour dives, recording at both 4K 60 and 4K 120 frames per second using one of the larger capacity BPA60 batteries. This equipment is perhaps one of the best 4K capable camera housing combinations we've used to date, with a price tag and size factor that offers an excellent value for almost any underwater filmmaker. Overall, we're thoroughly impressed with the C70's performance for underwater filmmaking, and I hope today's video has been useful for any of you considering picking this gear up from us. Now, if you liked today's video, you'd like to see more content like this from us, or if you're just curious in learning more about underwater imaging, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons found just below the video description here. Of course, feel free to leave any questions in the comments section below, or just contact our staff directly. And to check out more of our other articles or videos, you can visit our website and just click on the Learn tab found along the top of the homepage. Well, I think that's going to wrap this one up. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more cool videos to come soon, and we'll see you all in the next one.